Cheers, how you do, Buckaroos? How the heck are you? If you can hear the music, of course, I don't have any rights to it. I have been left alone, and you know what happens then, man. Yeah, I'm cranking my Pandora, and since I've got this great, nice day here in the Ozarks on this glorious Saturday, I haven't fired up my grill in a while, so decided to. I've got a meatloaf on there that I'm smoking at the moment. So here's what I did: is this particular meatloaf I used ground beef and ground turkey. I typically had pork too, but it had pork, so just the two meats on this one, and my very special blend of seasonings. But what I'm using the smoker with though is I had been kind of trying to semi homemade some whiskeys. You know, I buy some unaged whiskeys, and I use some dark and light toasted oak chips to flavor them, and I also used a hickory honeycomb I got at a homebrew shop. So, but that's what I'm using to smoke this with is those light and dark toasted oak that had been soaking in some whiskey, and then that hickory honeycomb. So, kind of curious to see what that does. So, hey, I've got the Brooklyn lager. Let me read just a little bit from their website here. It's meant to be a Vienna style lager, style amber, American amber lager, malts or American two row. One more time. Malts are American two row, Munich, and crisp. The hops are Ettenham, Cascade, Zephyr, Vanguard, and Hallertau Mittelfrüh. 5.2%. They say food pairings, pizza, burgers, roasted chicken, fried fish, Mexican food. They got a lot of stuff there. Basically anything. Yeah, I mean, it is a beer that reacts well to most. I don't know if I would pair it with bold flavors, but yeah, just about anything. The aromas are very nice on this, actually, very malty. They don't give the IBUs. They're probably rather light. I haven't tasted yet, but typically the style runs pretty light. Very nice nose, though. Oh, this is my first beer of this glorious Saturday. Got my got my meat going. I got the meat in me. Now mixed up the meatloaf, got my fire going, and it's been on there just a few minutes now. Well, it's probably been on there about 30 minutes now as I'm talking to you. It took me a little bit to get it going or get this going as well. But yeah, I was just curious. I had those dark and light toasted oak. Oak typically provides more heat than flavor, but it will give you a light flavor. But because I had it soaking in that alcohol, I didn't know what additional flavors that would impart. That and then I added that hickory honeycomb, which is about this long, but that thick. So I thought, well, let me put that in there and combine with the oak. We'll see what flavor it gives this particular meatloaf. I haven't made a meatloaf in a while, and my wife loves a meatloaf, and she's been wanting one. But I decided to smoke it. She probably just wanted a home style meatloaf cooked in the oven. But boy, I hate to waste a day like this, man. It had been, well, there hasn't been great here, but I mean, it hasn't been necessarily uncharacteristic for the time of year. Although we have had more rain. I think we set record rain for February actually, but so it had been very wet. Uh, and I had a couple days earlier in the winter where it was nice enough, but it had been so dry. I was afraid to start it up, but now I know the ground's wet, so I wasn't too concerned today. So I've got that meatloaf going, popping my first beer, this Brooklyn Lager. I picked up this mixed pack at a Lucky's Market the other day, and I picked it up because it was $14.99 for a mixed 12 pack. Most Brooklyn flavors in my neck of the woods run about $10 a six pack. So if I get this 12 pack for 15, I mean, which works out to about 750 a six pack. See, that's a bargain. So I went ahead and picked up this mixed six. I had the Pilsner the other day, and I did enjoy that, to be honest with you. But I've still got the Sriracha Ace Saison and the Defender IPA to go. Saga, wow, blast from the past. Saga on the loose. Took me a second to come up with a band name. I love my music choice. I like so many different styles that my Pandora tends to be very eclectic. I mean, I can go from this to Thin Lizzy to Iron Maiden to James Hunter 6. I mean, I'm just all over the place. But that's what I like. I get frustrated with commercial music radio stations because it's all top 40. No matter what genre you listen to, they play the same handful of songs over and over again. Even classic rock stations will play the same classic rock tunes over and over again. And you don't hear the songs that you went to see the concerts for. You just hear you hear the AM singles and not the songs that you went to the concert to hear them play. And there are a small number of bands, of new bands or singers, bands, whatever that I like, but not many because I don't like the way music is done today. I think, I mean, with American Idol and The Voice and these other shows, I think music is breeding mediocrity. I mean, the lyrics are very simple these days. I mean, a Bob Dylan couldn't get a record deal today. I don't think Elton John or a Billy Joel could. I mean, because we're not looking for talent. We're looking for a certain face and a certain sound, and I think they've given up looking for talent. That's what I like to do, folks. I like to have a beer. I like to watch smoke come out of my grill, and I like to talk about various things. So I consider what I do more of a pub conversation than any kind of beer review. I don't like the concept of a review, so I don't do that. But I do like to talk about the beer stuff. This is nice, actually. It's a nice American version of a Vienna style lager. It is certainly better than most macro versions without mentioning any names. But yeah, I mean, you compare they say Mexican food. You certainly compare this with Mexican food in the same way that if you were at a Mexican restaurant, you could order a Dos Equis amber, which is basically their version of a Vienna style. Now this is a little bolder beer than that one. It's a little more crisp. It doesn't use adjuncts, so it's a crisper, cleaner beer, and it has a little more flavor. You certainly get a lot more malt, but it's that basic same idea. So yes, you can certainly pair this with some Mexican food. I will. I may. I was gonna do some chilaquiles because I got the stuff. I really want to fix this meatloaf, so I'll probably do the chilaquiles tomorrow, maybe for breakfast. I love chilaquiles for breakfast because I like to serve them motada style, which means with an egg on top. For those of you that don't know, I tell you what, the first time I had it that way though is when we lived in El Paso back in about '98. I did grow up in California, eating a lot of Mexican food, but I never had the motada style. I just had the enchiladas motada style as well, but I hadn't had actual chilaquiles before El Paso. And out there they serve their enchiladas flat, so you get the flat enchiladas and then pop the egg on top. It's freaking gorgeous, man. If you've never had it that way, I'm telling you, it's a winner. So, anyway, so yeah, so because I've got my grill going, that's why I'm sitting outside and not in front of my fake backdrop or in my easy chair. I don't like to leave the grill unattended, so I'm kind of watching the traffic go by. It's an interesting little traffic that we're in at the moment. For probably got 2 more months anyway. Because I can see the road there, but it's on the side, so I'm not directly facing the road. So. But I do like. Actually, I'm one of those guys. I don't mind. You know, I actually wouldn't mind even being on the road because I would enjoy just sitting on my patio watching everybody go by, having a beer, doing a video. I like that. That's my ultimate. I like to have a place overlooking a major highway, just sitting there watching the cars go by in front of an outer road where they can drive by and see it. Uh, uh, Now I've got Fastway playing. Jerry Shirley was the drummer for Fastway. A lot of people don't know that Jerry Shirley came from Humble Pie. I think it's a great underrated drummer because it became, I don't know if trendy is the right word, but it became popular, I guess, to use large drum sets. You had these, Neil Peart type drummers. Not that I'm certainly not throwing shade at Neil Peart. Neil Peart is one of the best, but I think a solid blues drummer was overlooked through that time period. I think now a lot of folks are looking at drummers of that style and giving them the credit they deserve. But Jerry Shirley was just an amazing drummer. He just wasn't fancy. He was just as solid as they come. And you don't necessarily need a huge drum kit to do the job right. I think that's the point that sort of got lost in the 80s. Everything became more extravagant. You don't need a 100-piece drum set to get the job done. Sometimes less is more. Anyway, I digress. So, for the style, yeah, I think it succeeds as a Vienna style lager. I like it. If you like the style, I suggest you buy it. If you drink crazy, funky, 100 ingredient craft beers, this probably isn't going to do it for you. I get frustrated when I see people that call themselves reviewers. You can tell they like a certain style. They drink a beer like this and do nothing but hammer it just because they don't understand the style. If you can't review a beer within its style, you have no business calling yourself a reviewer. You're not a reviewer. If you can't review each beer within its own style, you have no business calling yourself a beer reviewer. Frustrates me that so many people think, oh, you don't have to review it. Oh, you do just lump it in there. I mean, it's like food. You just, hey, this is good. Just eat it. I mean, it just doesn't make sense, man. Anyway, I am not a beer whisperer. I have opinions. I drink beer and I say stuff. Be a reverend beer whisperer. I had to think of myself an online. That's a story for another day. Oh, I love this song. One of my favorite songs. The Angels or Angel City, depending on how you know them. Marseille. I love this too. I always thought I heard this song, man, back when I was a kid. I was probably about 14. I thought, man, this band is going to be huge. And of course, they weren't. It was right about this time that AC/DC really hit in the U.S. too. But boy, man, the song is brilliant. I don't know how you can hear this song and not think it's just brilliant. I love this too. I'm going to sing when the chorus comes. Oh no, son, please don't. That's karaoke Sunday. Or the beer was burr. It's coming. I'm warning you. Give me the sound of rolling dice. Give me a whiskey, don't think twice. Do me the card that takes my blues away. Take me away to Marseille. I love this too. Anyway, I digress. I'm sorry about that. I hope your ears are okay. I'm on Beer Whisperer. BeerVangelist. Prolific beer drinker. The irreverent Reverend Beer Purveyor of Wisdom, man. Uh, hey, you all have a good one. I may be back after a while. Who knows? I never know what I'm going to do.